Another important question, this time from Miklos Janoska. What's the role, if any, of enterprise architecture within an agile startup? Well, the short answer is, if you're familiar with TOGAF, the Open Group Architecture Framework, the short answer is TOGAF done right. What we need in TOGAF is, for us, an agile startup, is much more focus on intent, which is phase A, on phases E and G about execution of the architecture, and also phase H about really looking at context. The other thing that we need is proper iteration and fractality. It's sort of covered in TOGAF, but not very well. TOGAF as presented looks like it's something that's designed for large organisations only, and a typical cycle takes 2 years. Whereas when we did a revised version of TOGAF, we could get the cycle down to under an hour and use the same approach whether we were talking about an overall process lasting years or things that we could quick review for an hour or less. 5 elements cycle, which comes down to a 1-minute checklist of why, who, how, what, and what are the outcomes. The other crucial thing that is absolutely essential, particularly in an agile startup, is situational awareness. That's sort of covered very loosely in phase H, where they talk about looking at the technology landscape. But a better way is something called Wardley Maps, developed by Simon Wardley, which map out in relation each of your capabilities and the things that you're going to link together in terms of whether they're a genesis, a new development, something that is bespoke, something that is essentially bought as a service, and something that is bought as a commodity. Those different approaches, those different areas. So how they work over time, because technologies tend to move over time towards becoming a commodity, a production environment, so that we get our best development, we get our best value by noticing what is new and specific to what we're developing in this startup, but making the best use of the commodities and the services that exist to keep our costs down and our scaling available as well. The other one we need, particularly in a startup, is a very much stronger emphasis on performance, a focus on benefits realised and lessons learned. Because without those two, we can't learn from each of our failures. It's not fail to learn, but fail, comma, to learn. Otherwise we fail to learn and we'll kill our startup. So the architecture provides the big picture, but also a systematic method for understanding and learning as we develop and as we go along. That's particularly the role of enterprise architecture approaches as used within an agile startup.